Welcome to your Week 6 edition of Head to Head. It's Alabama versus Texas A&M. I'm Lauren Sisler.
And I'm Kevin Scarbinsky. The Aggies, the last SEC team to score a touchdown against Alabama in a regular season game. Let's see if they can do it again.
And Kevin, to your point, coming into this football season, everybody was saying this isn't going to be the same dominant Alabama defense we've seen in years past. But they're starting to prove us wrong. On third down conversions, they've only given up one third down conversion in the last 2 games, 1 of 23 against Ole Miss. Super impressive. But let's give a little credit to Texas A&M. I like the dual threat quarterback in Kellen Mond, obviously coming in after week 1 of the season. You know, he has the ground game. He's picked up several yards on the ground, 252 so far this year. I like their running game. Travion Williams last year broke the Texas A&M record, the first Texas A&M player to rush for 1,000 yards. Between him and Keith Ford, 684 yards, 12 touchdowns so far this year. So I like what they're capable of doing. This offense is second in the SEC behind Alabama. So I think that this is going to be one of the more competitive games, as Nick Saban said in his press conference on Monday. Do you agree?
Relatively speaking, competitive is a relative thing. Nick Saban said A&M will be the best team Alabama's faced so far. He's right about that, but let's look at who Alabama's played, and then let's also look at who A&M's played in its 4-game winning streak after getting depantsed in the second half at UCLA.
Depantsed?
They beat two dogs with fleas. They beat Arkansas and South Carolina, and they needed overtime to beat Arkansas, and they had to come from 10 down in the second half to beat South Carolina. So it's not as if they've been knocking down foes that are anything like the caliber of Alabama. So let's not crown the Aggies of Kevin Sumlin as another wrecking crew. Not to mention, has any coordinator in America fallen farther, faster than John Chavis, the defensive coordinator at A&M? He was once considered elite. His first year at A&M in 2015, not bad. They finished 51st in the country in total defense and 28th in scoring defense. You know where they're ranked this year? They're ranked 76th in total defense and 80th in scoring defense. That is a bad sign when you're about to run into Jalen Hurts and friends.
Okay, Kevin, yes, you make a lot of great points there. It's prediction time, and yes, Alabama is just playing far too well right now to be stopped. I like the rush attack. I like the balance that they've had on offense. Defensively, they've picked it up. The secondary getting more props from them this season. I think that this Alabama team is that good. This Texas A&M team, not good enough. My final score prediction, Alabama wins this one 48-17.
That's what you call competitive? 31-point win? Look, you are right. Okay. You are right. A&M has playmakers, led by Christian Kirk. Kellen Mond has a lot of promise at quarterback. I think his recruiting decision, he is a true freshman, his recruiting decision came down to A&M or Auburn, just for another fun fact. But let's be honest. If you look at the trend, Alabama's won 4 straight. Since the Johnny Manziel game, they've beaten A&M 4 straight by a combined score of 182-79. And if you look again at who A&M has played, they've struggled even against the mediocre teams on their schedule. They've beaten the bad teams on their schedule. This is not a game that should be competitive for 4 quarters. I'll make this prediction. Unlike Vanderbilt, A&M will cross the 50-yard line against the Alabama defense. And unlike Ole Miss, A&M will find the end zone again. They were the last SEC team to do so in the regular season a year ago. But it won't be enough. Final score, 48-14. Okay, Lauren, did you know this is the first time Alabama has scored 50-plus points in 2 straight SEC games since 1945?
I did not know that, but did you know, Kevin, that this 63-point margin of victory against Ole Miss last week for Alabama was the first time in 10 years that an SEC team has been able to do that? Complete dominance for Alabama.
That's pretty strong. Did you know that this is the first time in Alabama history that the Crimson Tide has gained more than 600 yards in consecutive games?
And we're going history. We're talking about the FBS, the first time that Alabama has had a 50-point margin of victory in 2 consecutive games ever. We're talking history there.
Hey, if you do something for the first time as an Alabama football team, you are on a collision course with the national championship.